Hey there, YouTubers. Short but sweet video. I know it's not a car, okay? I'm sorry. But the old Stihl needs a new blade. We fixed it so good, I wore it out the other day. And, whoop, we got this thing. Okay, there we go. Blade's all caca. It's just plumb wore out. So, change on the blade. Not rocket science. Most of you all, if you have a chainsaw, probably already know how to change the chain. So, you can skip through this video if you want. But, however, I did find out that there's a difference in the blades. Normal blades last, I don't really know time-wise, hours-wise, but for me anyway, I tend to push my saw kind of hard, and they last about one tree. Well, good size, big oak tree. If you're cutting hardwood, if you're cutting pine, maybe not so much, but cutting hardwood, they last about one tree. This is one that needs sharpening. Now, it only cost $8 to get these sharpened, so don't throw them away. Take them back down to your local Stihl dealer and get them sharpened for $8. So that's what they charge me anyway. However, I already said however once. I bought this. This is supposedly supposed to last like 4 or 5 times longer. It's got carbide tips. Now, if you've ever try that in English. If you've ever bought carbide tips like circular saw blades, or what do they call those? I call them circular saws. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a carpenter, okay? But chainsaw is about as good as I get cutting wood. Now, I do have a video coming out where I did do some woodwork, and you'll see why I'm not a carpenter. But anyway, it's supposed to be carbide tip. Carbides don't really break off like you would think unless you hit nails. And it's supposed to last like 4 to 5 times longer. This bugger was $90. Woo. These are like 22. Okay, this was 89 and these are 22. At least at my dealer. So 22 times 4 is 88, right? So 4 times. These, if this does not last 4 times longer, it's a waste of money, right? I would love to say this is going to be a testing on an expensive chain video, but if it lasts 4 times longer, it's probably going to go all winter without having to change it out. That's my hope anyway, because it's a pain. I mean, it's not hard, but it's a pain to have to change the blade, right? So especially if you're halfway through a cutting job, you know, you get about halfway through and the thing starts throwing sparks because it's getting so burned out, it's basically eating itself, so it starts to spark and everything else, and you're pushing on that bugger just to get it to cut. This one got so bad that I was cutting like rotted wood and it still didn't want to cut anymore. I did cut some railroad ties with it, so that's probably what killed it. But I've still got a whole tree to cut up, and I've got a whole nother one I got to cut down. You can go back to my dually or my Dodge 3500 pulling down a large oak. You can look at that video. I'll try to remember to put that as the next video in line kind of thing when you're watching this one. So if you want to watch that, but this saw and this blade did all that. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, this blade did good. We did sharpen it once in between, but it's a pain. And then, of course, you'll see the other video on this, blah, 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 where, you know, that particular job also made this saw stop working. So, and we fixed that. But anyhow, we're just going to change on the blade. I know it's a lot of talking just for changing on the blade. We're going to change on this blade. We're going to put this super duper Superman blade in there. It's made out of steel, spelled wrong, but it's supposed to be the cat's meow, you know. So let's go ahead and throw this on. So this will be a how to change your chainsaw blade, and we're going to test on this super duper carbide never wear out blade. Now this blade can be sharpened as well, Has to be at the dealer unless you've got the special wheel. It's got to be a diamond wheel in order to cut these. And it costs $20. So every time I sharpen this, it costs me as much as buying a new this. But again, if this lasts 4 times longer and you sharpen it, it should last 4 times longer again for $20. So I'm going to be testing on this all winter long. Come springtime or maybe even next winter, I'll let you know how it worked out. And that way, if you decide you want to pay 4 times as much money and buy a blade you would hopefully not have to change, you'll know. But for now, we're just going to change it. We're going to put it on here. I'm going to go test on it, and that's going to be the end of this video. Let's get started. I do apologize that the angle's not better, but unfortunately, I'm going to be standing where the camera needs to be. Now, I got a tool with my saw. I don't know if you did. You can use a socket and a screwdriver if you don't have one of these tools, but this is pretty handy. So it came with the saw, and I just keep it around and use it. These aren't even really all that tight. You don't have to sock these up like super duper tight. You just don't want the blade to move. I'm probably going to end up losing these gloves. Not like lose them forever, but like losing them to work on this because it's hard to work in gloves. It's about 40, according to my trusty thermometer, it is 40 degrees in the shop right now. I've got the door open because it's about 40 degrees out in the world as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the gloves off now. You know I mean business when I take my gloves off. Well, yeah, anyway, ooh. We may want to clean that out as well. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Oh, I thought that was goo. It's actually a chain guard, but it's still got some goo in here, though. But we'll clean that out outside instead of in my shop. But anyhow, now, if you take those 2 bolts off, take that cover off, now you'll find a little screwdriver, flat blade. Now, you can access that through this hole here as well, and we'll be doing that once we start adjusting it. But for right now, we're just going to take this and we're going to turn it back, and that allows this blade to slide back. Alright, and that allows this to come off, like this. Oops, well, it also allows that to fall off, which is fine. So we're going to take this off, and we're going to get it ready to go back to the dealer and let him sharpen it along with another one. So for $16 I'll have 2 spare blades, and we are going to take this Superman blade, if I can get the box open. I'm kind of weird about that. I don't like to tear boxes when I open them, but I tore that one. Oh well. Oh no, I didn't. Or did I? I don't know. I don't really know why. I'm a box enthusiast. I just am. And now, well, this chain feels different. I don't know if it is. I mean, it is different, but it feels kind of different, and it's got kinks in it, which how do you, what in tarnation? How? Okay, what's the schoolboy's answer to this? It's kinked up. How the heck do you unkink it? Maybe no. Okay, this is one of those jokes that you can't. It's just getting worse instead of better. What the heck? I have. Okay, that's 1. Okay, that's 2, but I think it's getting worse over here now. 3. Oh, we're back to 2. Okay, how's this supposed to work? Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Wow, that was crazy. Okay. Can only go one direction. I thought for sure it went both directions, but I guess it doesn't. And if you look, there's like a little scoop right here, and that's the blade. You can go like this and you'll feel it sharp. You go the other way, not so much. So it's got like a scoop, so you want to face the scoop the direction that the saw is going to turn. Okay? So we're going to just set this in the groove. Gotta be in the groove. And you knock your tools off always knock your tools off the table. That's the best way to do it. So we're gonna put that in there and fix the tool. Ah, I didn't lose it, haha. Okay. And set these little doodabbies into the groove on the bar. Man, I'm making this look harder than it really is. This chain's being a little difficult. I don't know if it's just because it's new or it's different, but I've never had this much trouble putting a chain on before. Alright, there's the bottom. Now be careful doing what I'm doing because you can cut your hand. Alright, now we're going to slide this back in here and put that on there. Now, there are pins in here that this fits on. So put them over the pins. Oh shoot, I meant to go clean this off, didn't I? So we're over the pins right now. And I got ahead of myself, so we're just going to let it sit there for a second. Don't move! I'm going to go clean this off real quick and I'll be right back. Be sure you're on your pins. And then you're going to take your cover, and your cover goes over those two studs. I cleaned it out. I mean, it's not like eat off it kind of clean, but it's definitely clean enough. And you're going to put these on loosely, and that's why I said make sure you're on your little pegs with your bar. I mean, with your bar. Because if you're not, and you start snugging this up, it's going to go badly. All right. So I'm wiggling a little bit. You'll feel these start to go in a little bit, so you'll know you're on it. There we go. I'm just going to turn them until they're, I'm not even going to say snug. I mean just turning them until they're holding it in place, shall we say. Now, see how we got all this play? We're going to turn this screw. Oops, thinking went the wrong way. Nope, not the right way. Turn the screw until these are all... Uh-oh. Well, like I said, I'm making it look harder than it is. This fell out of the groove. I guess that shows you the potential problems that it's not in the groove over here. So I'm going to have to take this, carefully take your cover back off, if that happens to you, so you can fix the problemo. But again, I'm going to try very hard not to let it fall off those little pegs. Pull this back off. And we're going to have to get this to go in there. Back my screw up a little bit here. There we go. There we go. That fell off the pegs, but oh well. We'll end up putting them back on. There we go. Put my cover back on. Again, I'm wiggling a little bit to make sure I'm on those little pegs. Alright, we're going to turn this back up again. And you'll feel it start to tighten. You just want it like I'm fingering it, okay? Okay, maybe that's not a good term, I don't know. Just using a couple of fingers. Feels snug here. Alright, you don't want to put a lot of torque on it because you'll wear your bar out. once you feel it snug like that, let's go ahead and snug your two little nuts up here. Now don't put a lot of pressure on that either. I'm just snugging that. There we go. Alright. And there's your blade, ready to go. Ready to go make some trees. Make sure it turns, by the way. And then, whoop, might want to check your tension a little bit now that I moved it. See how it loosened up a little bit? So I'm going to go ahead and crank these down. Loosen them up, I mean. Not crank them down. Loosen them up a little bit more, and I'm going to just turn this a little bit more. There we go. Alright. Tighten these back down. The thing about the tool is it's just about the right length to where you don't over torque it. You know what I mean? You'll feel it. It just doesn't want to go anymore. And this is turning nicey nice. We don't have a lot of play in there. I'd say we're ready to go. Let's take her out to the field and give her a whirl.
not just blowing smoke. That blade cuts nice. I don't know, maybe any new blade will cut that easy, but you saw I put one hand off and just let the weight of the saw go into it, and it cut right through this oak. I don't remember it ever being that easy to cut through. When I was talking to the guy, he said, look, let the saw do the cutting and the blade will last longer. So I tried really hard not to push at all, and as you can probably hear by the engine, I didn't labor it a couple of times, and then I remembered the words, you know, let the saw do the cutting. And literally, with this blade on it, this saw cut through this oak effortlessly. I actually said that properly. Effortlessly. I'm going to finish cutting this thing up today, but I'm going to spare you sitting watching me cut an oak tree up. This big trunk is going to take a little while. I may not get it all done today, but I'm going to cut a lot of it off. I got some smaller stuff over there. I like to cut the smaller stuff just simply because I don't have to split it. Yes, I know, I don't have a log splitter. Not because I can't afford one, but I really can't afford one because I spend all my money on cars. But also because chopping wood keeps you in shape, and my shoulders are all jacked up. If you remember last year I dislocated this one, I messed this one up on the job a few years back. So, you know, I gotta stay in shape as best I can. I turned 60 Monday. Today is Saturday, and I turned 60 on Monday. So I'm getting old, folks, and I'm trying not to. So chopping wood is a good way to stay in shape. When it's cold out, it's good exercise, and you get warmed up pretty quick once you start swinging that maul, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about the kind of maul you go shopping in. My wife will get all excited. She hears the word maul come out of my mouth. But we're talking about M-A-U-L, not M-A-L-L. But I'm very pleased with this blade so far. I will let you know in the future when this burns out. If it burns out this year, I'm hoping I'll get the entire winter season out of it. I know I'm asking a lot, because I usually go through at least 2, maybe 3 blades in the winter. And this will last 4 times longer. I should get through the winter on it. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. There's a lot of car videos. We don't just do chainsaws here. But if this video helped you out at all, please subscribe. And even if you just liked it, it wouldn't hurt to subscribe either way. Tell your friends, hit the bell, hit the like button, makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. See ya!